So we are in Ireland for Emerald Park, formerly known as Tayto Park, just 2 years ago. I mean, this is the only like prime theme park in Ireland with the only large roller coasters, and I'm super excited to be here because it's Ireland, first of all. Second of all, I've heard really good things about Cú Chulainn there. I can't pronounce that, I'm so sorry. I've heard really good things about that one. They just opened their new Vekoma STC for this year. That'll be the first of those for me. And generally, I've heard really good things about this park. It's got a little zoo as well, and seemingly some really nice theming. So let's spend a day here in Ireland. I'm here with my friend Ida. Let's see what happens. Flight School is the same layout as Flying Eagle in Legoland Billund, which is a really good family coaster, but I thought Flight School was a bit more tame in the forces. It didn't really have those positives or floater moments that Flying Eagle does. It's very tame, even though it's the same layout. We need more of these signs in so many parks. Dino Dash was a very good, very smooth family coaster. It's a little zippy, doesn't necessarily have much force, but it isn't forceless. Quite frankly, it just runs well and has really nice theming. That's a great little family coaster. Quite liked it. All right, it's time for the big boy here. Here we go. We are literally right in the middle of the train. Okay, that's probably either a front row or back row ride, I imagine. Very nice. Cú Chulainn here. That is a really fun wooden coaster. As a gravity group, of course, it's got quite the rattle that goes to your head, but it's not rough. It's just very rattly. Basically the way you would expect these rides to be with those trains. That being said, we sat right in the middle of the train, so we didn't get any ejector or anything, but there were plenty of airtime moments, a lot of really fun floater airtime. It ran really well, and it was very sustained in there as well. The thing about this coaster is that it goes on for so long, and hey boys! The thing about this coaster is it goes on for very long. It's a very long ride, and it feels very powerful. I'm sure in the back row it will be even better because they have a lot of really big drops and a double down here and there, so I'm sure it will be even better there. I'll be sure to ride it back there if I can later on. Otherwise, I really liked it. Definitely didn't get the best ride I could on it, but I'm glad I did it. I'm glad my friends were there to join me as well because she was a little bit frightened, but she liked it quite a lot, so that's great. quest was really nice. It's a clone of Sailing at Balmsumland, so it's a nice little floaty family boomerang. But I thought this one was just slightly better. I think it's the interaction. We got a perfect duo with Fianna Force, which was awesome. And the theming is really nice. It's not at all finished. There's a lot of unfinished theming around here. But nonetheless, it's really cool what they got. So now, it's finally time to ride the headliner attraction. Fianna Force is a really good suspended roller coaster. That's my first one of those, and it definitely lived up to expectations. It's forceful, it's fast-paced, it's got such a good amount of whip and especially airtime. The ending especially is just incredibly fast and just feels amazing. And it really isn't lacking in intensity. It's not overly intense. I imagine something like Leg Coaster is fairly more intense, but this is more intense than Phoenix in a lot of ways. It's also got some really nice theming around the station. Generally, the Tir na Nog area is really nicely themed. Tir na Nog is the eternal land of youth, health, and prosperity, and so on in old Irish mythology. And I believe Fianna here is actually a character, more or less a warrior in that mythology, same as Cú Chulainn. And quite frankly, even though they're not finished with the theming, I really like what they're going for. It fits in amazingly here. They definitely need a ride like this in Ireland. And I can't wait to ride it at least one more time, probably, hopefully. They got a winner on their hands here. That ending especially is unlike anything I've felt on an invert and should be experienced. It's so fun. Hey little feller, you scratching your balls there? Okay. If I were a tree, what a tree I'd be. If I were a tree, what a tree I'd be. Oh boy. Okay. An adorable little lip fill there. Okay. We got very wet, didn't we? Yeah. So Viking Voyage is an incredible log flume. If it's a log flume, it's one of the best water rides I've done. It's got really nice theming and the drops are amazing. You get unbelievably wet on it, incredibly so. It's got one of the best drops I've ever done on a water ride. That thing is incredible. We just did Cú Chulainn again, this time near the back. That was a lot better than the middle road earlier. The airtime is some of the best floater and flagector I've ever done, or at least some of the most fun. It's so fun, and with the chaotic wooden rattle, it's just amazing. There's still no ejector really, but there is some really great outer gear seat floater and flagector that is very sustained. And with a luge lap bar, which you are able to get, that doesn't come down that far doing the ride either, you're able to get standing airtime because of that. It does dwindle out a little bit towards the end. It's absolutely best in the first half, but it's still now an amazing coaster. I like it fairly better now. That thing slaps. Not a front row ride, but a back row ride for my money. The front row ride wasn't that amazing, to be honest. Overall, I think the coaster is a bit disappointing. It's a little overhyped for me, but in the back row, it still kills. It's still so good back there. Okay, let's see how this drop is. Like it better in front, but that was so good. This time I got to do Fianna Force right in the back row, and I will say the positive forces are more prominent back there. It definitely felt more forceful. The airtime and whip, however, wasn't any better. That's almost better in the front actually, except of course for two of the drops. So I actually have no idea if I preferred it in the front or the back. What I just know is it was just as good overall as last time. That is a fantastic addition and just such a good looping coaster. The inversions themselves aren't actually the best parts. In fact, I would say they're some of the weaker parts. The first corkscrew though does have some forces in the back, but overall it's all the transitions and the whip and the small hills and the big overbank in the beginning and all of those special elements that make it so fantastic. Kitty! It's a kitty! Hey buddy, hey. You want some ice cream balls? Nah, he's not interested. You think he likes to move it, move it? He's a little baby. I reckon they like to move it, move it. Look at that one. He's moving it, moving it. Oh, that one is definitely moving it, moving it. So I forgot to film an outro. We were focused on catching the bus after the park yesterday, and then we went off and got drunk.
But that being said, Emerald Park is a really nice park. It's a little lacking in atmosphere and theming in some places. It feels a little lackluster there, but other places it's excellent, especially in the new Tir Nenok area. That is excellent, especially when it's finished. It's gonna look really great because the finished theming right now looks excellent. So I think it's maybe a little like Energylandia in that sort of sense, that the newer places are a little more fulfilled than some of the older places. With the rides, they have a really good collection. First of all, they have like a great collection of 4 thrill rides right in near proximity of each other, which is really cool. They all share a sort of similar color scheme as well, so that's that era for that. And then you got the 2 amazing coasters, Cú Chulainn and Fianna Force. Cú Chulainn is a great coaster. I think it was a little overhyped for me, so it wasn't quite up to expectations for me, but in the back row when we did that ride, which I did not film on the GoPro because we didn't sit in the very back row, we sat almost in the back row. But when we did that ride, that was peak. That was so good, really chaotic in the best way, kind of like Wodan at Europa Park, and with excellent airtime. That ride was so good, but near the front wasn't really that special. It might have run slow. I did look at some other POVs that looked faster than mine, so maybe it was just not doing well yesterday, but I still really like that back row ride. And Fianna Force is just such an excellent addition. I love how it's split up in 2 halves basically. You got the first big half that's forceful, and then you got the really low to the ground second half that really kicks it up a notch, and that is so intense and fast. That ride is just excellent. It's more intense than like Phoenix, and definitely for a more thrill-based audience. And some of the family coasters were really nice as well, and they got a great collection of rides. Otherwise, the zoo was really nice to go and look at. Generally, I would love to come back there. They definitely have some things to improve, I think, but it's Ireland's only real theme park, and what they have is great. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Also, just go visit Ireland, by the way, because the Irish are literally like the nicest people I've ever met. Them and the Austrians, peak.